Happy Tuesday and a time for another video. So if you saw my post yesterday, you'll see we're talking all about period tracking, how we track our periods, why we track our periods, and what that even means. So we track our periods because it helps us understand if and when we're ovulating, and when it comes to our period health, it's all about ovulation. So ovulation is the release of an egg from our ovaries, and we probably know that ovulating is essential for making a baby, but we also need to be making sure that we're ovulating even if we don't want to get pregnant, because it's really essential for our period health. Ovulation is a big deal because it's how we progress through the cycle and the phases of our menstrual cycle. It's also how we make progesterone, and progesterone is an amazing hormone. It helps promotes us feeling calm, promotes luscious locks, it promotes balance of estrogen, it boosts thyroid hormone and thus raises our body temperature. It prevents breast cancer, reduces inflammation, promotes sleep, builds muscle, protects against heart disease, and makes it a lot easier for us to cope with stress. So progesterone is a biggie, and we want to make sure that we're ovulating in order to produce it. Without ovulation, our hormones and our menstrual cycle and all factors of our health, because hormones matter for many aspects of our health, not just with regards to our menstrual cycle, they aren't in balance and we won't look and feel our best. So we need to be making sure that we are ovulating and keeping an eye on that. So signs of ovulation are things like change in cervical mucus and fertile mucus, and a regular cycle, including an increase in basal body temperature. So this rise in basal body temperature happens after release of progesterone, which happens because of ovulation. So a period itself isn't evidence that we're ovulating, because it is possible to have a period or what's known as an anovulatory cycle, so a cycle where we don't ovulate. So that means we're missing that beautiful rise and fall of the hormones, including progesterone. This is why tracking is so useful, because it can help us see if and when we have ovulated, and understand how our hormones are behaving throughout the month, and how we can support them if they need a little bit of a helping hand. So it's also a great way of learning and understanding our body, understanding how it works, know where we're at in our cycle, and how we feel on any given day. So if we aren't tracking, we don't know what's going on in our body, and we can't help resolve it or get back to feeling our best if needed. Once we've been tracking for a few months, you'll be able to kind of see your own rhythm and pinpoint when you ovulate, which is obviously the main event. If it isn't happening, then we want to dig a little deeper as to what's going on, why it's happening, and the impact that that's having, not just on our sex hormones but on our overall health as well. So there are so many options when it comes to tracking. You can use apps like Natural Cycles, Clue, Fitbit have an option as well. Some, do be careful, because some will just estimate when ovulation is based on the data of hundreds of cycles and the average cycle length, which might not necessarily relate and be specific to you. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you have ovulated, and it isn't accurate enough to go off for contraception without knowing your kind of basal body temperature and your cervical mucus. So choose an app that uses these monitoring things as well, so cervical mucus and basal body temperature. Or you can use paper charts, which I prefer to do, because then I can see that pattern throughout the month. I'll be talking a lot more about basal body temperature and cervical mucus and the impact of ovulation and tracking our cycle. But if you want to get started and dig a little deeper already, then download my ultimate guide to tracking, which I've created some sheets and guides for you to be able to start tracking your periods right away. So click the link in my bio to grab your copy, and I'll look out for the post tomorrow and the next coming days and weeks with more information on how we can track our cycle and what it means for you.